Okay, so the first question is how could you get 6 pi over 7 in terms of degrees? So essentially we're turning this, which is in radians, into degrees. And if you remember, our formula for changing into degrees is to multiply by 180 over pi. And remember, that's because 180 degrees is the same thing as pi radians. So when you do that, right away you can cancel out the pi that's on the top and the bottom, and you've got 6 times 180 divided by 7. And if you put that whole thing into your calculator and round it, you'll come out with 154 degrees. Now the next question is, can you sketch 17 pi over 7 in standard position? So remember that when we sketch, we have our basic graph, and that number on the bottom is the one that tells us how many sections we need to break up the top and also the bottom into. So if it's an odd number, you know that one of your sections actually happens right over top of that center line. So if that's a section that's happening over top of that center line, you don't actually count this as 2 sections, but as one section that goes right over. So one of my sections is in the middle, so I have 7 left, or I'm sorry, we have 6 left. That means we have 3 on each side. So I need to make it so I have 3 there and 3 there. So if I count, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 little sections. I need that on the bottom as well, so again I can make my one in the middle, and then I can add my extra ones on the sides. And now I just count, starting at that x-axis, 17 of them. So if 7 is all the way on the top, that means I have 7, and then I go another 7 is 14, so I have to go 1, 2, 3 sections more to get to 17. And remember, if you're in standard position, you need an arrow, and you also need to make sure that you label it. Okay, so that's how you sketch 17 pi over 7 in standard position.